What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. A few bits and pieces to get through, but let's start off with the Times, and they're reporting about the Premier League COVID situation. And what they're saying is a number of Premier League clubs are pushing for the league to be stopped over Christmas to contain the COVID-19 crisis. With a meeting scheduled on Monday, the Premier League is determined to keep going, but will keep under pressure from clubs. Will keep coming under pressure from the clubs. Clubs are touting the possibility of stopping the Premier League matches until January the 15th.
Yeah, the Evening Standard are reporting something slightly different to that. I think the meeting on Monday is pretty much confirmed. Sky Sports and Evening Standard are also reporting the meeting on Monday, but Evening Standard are reporting that despite the meeting, the majority of clubs are in favour of continuing to play and playing on. So, and although a number of clubs are looking to stop it, and it says the majority are looking to play on. So if that's the case, it sounds like to me we are going to play on, in my opinion, because I think the Premier League are probably desperate to play. They're probably looking to get the games played as much as possible. And if the majority of clubs are in favour of it, I can't see it stopping unless the majority of clubs are in favour of stopping.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It really is. But I guess on Monday we'll find out more, and we'll keep you up to date as and when.
Do you want to stop till the 15th of Jan?
No, I don't. But I don't want to stop. But it might be the best port of call, the best action to take, because at the moment everything is just so up in the air. If we don't stop, there needs to be protocol. There needs to be a clear outline of, what teams have to do to pull out, or what the situation is to pull out, what it is to keep going, because we can't have games keep being cancelled an hour before kickoff. It's just not right. The fans are the ones really being let down, travelling all the way up to Burnley for Watford fans, and having to come straight back down. So there needs to be a clear protocol in place.
Yeah, and also from the club's perspective, there are these games that have been called off. No one knows how many cases anyone actually has, and there's nothing's been confirmed, and there's no outline as to why this game's been called off and this game isn't being called off, and how many cases this club has, and nothing's clear. Everything's very vague at the moment, so that all needs to be cleared up. But I do get the feeling that they are going to carry on at this point.
Well, a decision will be made on Monday, and so we'll bring it to you as soon as we get the news. But there definitely needs to be more transparency about everything going on right now. That's for sure. But let's move on. Let's talk about some transfers now, and let's start off with Corriere dello Sport. And they're saying that Spurs defender Davinson Sanchez is on Napoli's shortlist to replace Kostas Manolas, who transferred to Olympiacos. Spurs are said to value the defender at 30 million euros.
Yeah, I'll be taking a hit, but I think look, Sanchez is not a bad defender, and for someone like Napoli, he'd probably be a good signing. And if it gives us the opportunity to get some money through the door to replace him with a centre back more suited to Conte's system, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? So if Napoli come in for him, you got to take that at 30 million for sure. I'll take 30 million right now.
Yeah, it's all about if we can replace him though.
And he's young enough as well, so you got to hope that 30 million they'll invest in anything they can improve him and make him a better defender. Of course, we have to sign Sanchez with the view of replacing him, obviously. No way we sell another centre back without getting one in. I can't envisage that situation.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Rudy Galletti has been talking, and he says Frank Kessie has received contract offers worth 10 million euros from both Tottenham Hotspur and Paris Saint-Germain. Do you think there's any way that he chooses us over PSG?
Well, unless he's desperate to move to the Premier League, that's the only way, really. 10 million euros, that's about £192,000 a week, for €1,000 a week. So was that about 160, 150 pounds a week? You could probably afford that for a free transfer.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm saying that's £150,000 in euros. Yeah. We could probably afford that for a free transfer if there's no transfer fee, and for a player we need in the centre of the park, someone who is quality. I think financially, if that's the offer and if that's the offer he wants, it's viable. But it's all about who we're competing for. We know PSG can outbid us. We know that for sure. But it's whether maybe he would rather move to the Premier League. And I guess at the moment, Brissett wouldn't know if it looks like we're getting Champions League. But if he's going to make a decision right now, you'd probably think PSG. But maybe. The only way is if he wants Premier League football and we're the only team in for him.
It's all about kind of selling him a project, isn't it? Like if if we're giving him contract offers, obviously we've probably been speaking to his agent. So it's all about selling him the project. Maybe we're not in the Champions League now, but if Paratici and Conte are here, you've got to think that we're building a project in view of being in the Champions League next year. If not next year, then definitely the year after. So, but again, you know, you're talking about PSG, one of the biggest teams in the world right now. You know, Messi there, Mbappe there, but Mbappe could be leaving. So it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Do you want to go to France and PSG where it's a one-team league? Or do you want to go to the Premier League where you're going to have a much bigger fight on your hands, but you're in a much better league? It's like, which way do you want to go?
Exactly, and obviously, but if it's a money issue, then obviously PSG are going to outbid us. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's all about his competitive nature. If he feels like if he wants a challenge, a proper challenge at a club like Tottenham, but you know, being at a club like AC Milan where they haven't really won the league or anything recently, maybe he wants to win some trophies, and then that's you have to go to PSG for that. So it's a difficult one, but hopefully we can convince him.
All right, let's move on. Fernando Polo has been talking, and he says Tottenham are still in contention to sign Ousmane Dembele, which would happen from June 2022.
Yeah,
I mean, we spoke about it at length last time these rumours came around. Both of us, I think, kind of agreed that it would be good to get him through the door on a free transfer. Top talent, but it's all about how much we can get him on the pitch at the end of the day, isn't it?
That's the thing. So. Supremely talented footballer. That's why he went for 100 million. But there's a reason why no one's really queuing up to sign him as well. So it's all about maybe he would come back with a point to prove, and maybe that's what could drive him forward. But it would be a risk because he would have to be on big wages, and but he is young enough. So I think it's probably a calculated risk, probably worth taking, I would say.
There are rumours that you know, his attitude and stuff like that isn't really the best as well. So I guess it's one where Conte and Paratici really have to think about you know, the negatives and the positives, and seeing if the positives outweigh the negatives. For
him or Martial?
Him for sure. Him.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I think Martial's more used to the league. He's less injury prone, and I think he's a better finisher. I think Ousmane Dembele has a higher ceiling, is as a player, and he's younger, but he's a lot more injury prone, and they both have kind of attitude problems, don't they? So I reckon Martial would shade it for me.
Really?
Just because I think he's got more of a goal scorer, might fit into our system a bit more than Ousmane Dembele, and he's more reliably on the pitch.
You say that, but you know, he scored a bucket load at Dortmund, didn't he?
No,
Dembele. I thought he
was not a goal scorer. He's not a goal scorer.
I thought he scored a good amount of goals at.
He scored like 10, maybe. I would say it wasn't bad a return, but it wasn't. I don't think he was.
I mean, Martial's only had one season.
He wasn't prolific. I think he's had a couple, hasn't he?
I thought maybe only one, and maybe two where he hit 11 one season. But you know, yeah, you're right. His best goal scoring season was actually at Rennes. Scoring 12 goals.
Yeah, that's a while ago now. So.
He only spent one season at Dortmund.
Yeah, and signed for 100 million.
Best he's done at Barcelona is 8 goals, 6 goals last season.
Yeah, Martial's a better goal scorer. I know that. So he's a better finisher, but Ousmane Dembele's better dribbling and committing players and things like that. So it's kind of what you value in a way. I feel like on the counter, maybe someone like Martial might be a bit more clinical. But if you're like breaking teams down and being more dominant on the ball, Ousmane Dembele might be the guy you want.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to see how this one plays out. Ousmane Dembele apparently still in contention for Tottenham Hotspur, but not for January. This is for the summer. But let's talk about the next publication, Repubblica. They're saying Emmanuel Lazzari is a player tempting Tottenham and Conte to help with the 3-5-2 formation. Yeah,
he plays right wing back for Lazio.
Yeah.
So maybe he's with a view of competing for Emerson, because right now, if Emerson gets in, look, I'm hoping we get rid of Doherty or something in the window. But right now, if Emerson gets injured, we don't have anyone who can play right wing back effectively in that system the way Conte wants it. So if he's one who can come in and maybe either compete or play a sufficient backup for Emerson, and help with the squad, 100% I'm for it. I know he's very quick, and he's kind of like like a decent right wing. I don't think he's like anything special, but he's like a solid guy you can depend on, from what I gather. So if we need someone at right wing back who can fill in when Emerson's not there. So I think if it's a good deal, then yeah, I might be a good thing to do.
He's 28 years old, plays predominantly at right wing back, like you say, for Lazio. And his transfer market value on transfermarket.com is about 16 million. Contract runs out in 2024. So, I mean, if Conte feels like he's the one that could maybe fight with Emerson for that right wing back role, then I'm all for it.
I think he's coming. Would come more as just like an option at right wing back. I don't think he's coming to take Emerson's spot, although he might well be a more dependable option. But he's definitely one I think would come more not seen as like the future. I mean, maybe he'll be gone in like 3 years' time.
Yeah,
but he'd definitely be a dependable option to bring in.
Yeah, and he's had 2 caps for Italy as well. But again, we'll have to see how this one plays out. It's the first we're hearing of it. The first time we've been linked with him, I think, Lazzari. So that's that. And last but not least, very sad news, to be honest. This is from Inter Milan official. That Inter Milan and Christian Eriksen have mutually agreed to terminate the midfielder's contract. Obviously, the Serie A have banned, or it's not allowed in their rules for a player to play with a defibrillator, which Eriksen does have. So he's not allowed to play for Inter. So they have agreed to terminate the contract. He's currently out training in Denmark at the moment, but it remains to be seen what is the future for Christian Eriksen now.
Yeah, it's very tragic news that it's got to this stage, but unfortunately that's the situation in Italian football. That's the rules, and there's no use him continuing to play in Inter Milan if he's not going to be able to get into the squad. So I don't know what the future holds for him. Does anyone take a punt on him on a free transfer? Do you trust that he's going to be able to play? Because he's going to come and he's going to have confidence in himself. Like, look, I'm Christian Eriksen. I know how good I am, and I'm going to provide a lot to the team. So I'm worth a lot of money. But then will people be risking that money on him because of what happened, and whether they think the risk of that happening again, or he might have to retire or something? You never know. So it's a really bad situation, and I feel bad for him because he's such a good player, and I'm sure it's killing him not being on the pitch right now. Yeah. But that's just the reality of what's happened after that scenario. So I hope he finds somewhere. I hope someone takes a punt on him. I don't know if it should be Spurs, but I hope someone does and gives him a chance to get his career back on track and get on the pitch again. But it might have to be a case of him going home to Denmark for a bit or something and playing in that league. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation. Obviously, was an absolute star in the Spurs Pochettino side. Every time he wasn't on the pitch for us, we always missed him, didn't we? When he was in his pomp,
we felt it, that's for sure.
He was always the central figure to us going forward, and it's just sad to see what's happened. But look, I hope he can make a full recovery and he does get back to playing football. But we'll have to see how it works out for Christian Eriksen. But that is our Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.